Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Empower Journal, a space to create the life you want to live. In this podcast space, we explore stories, conversation, and ideas that help us live with more awareness, purpose, and intention. And today, we are talking about something we all know is important, but somehow we keep pushing to the bottom of the list. Yes, it's our health. So, when I was thinking about this, and while preparing for today's episode, most of us don't really have a good relationship with our health. We have a relationship with symptoms. Something hurts, we do check. Something feels wrong, we Google. Something actually scares us, then we finally book that appointment. So basically, our body has to shout before we listen to. But what if we learn to listen when it whispers? And today's conversation is about that exactly. How do we move from fixing problems to preventing them? How do we know what really deserves our attention in a world where every second person online is giving us health advice? And especially for women, why do we become experts at noticing everyone else's needs but sometimes ignore our own? My guest today has been in the both sides of the story, the cases caught early and the moments where people wish they had come sooner. I'm pretty excited to welcome Professor and Dr. Navin Gnanasekaran, Head of Clinical Services in Radiology and Interventional Radiology at Apollo Hospitals Chennai, co-founder of Advisory Board of LIVF.women and author of 100-Year Blueprint. Welcome to the Empower Journal, Dr. Navin. Thank you so much, and we are glad to have you here.
Thanks very much, Devaki. It's amazing, seeing the work that you do with founders and women and the community that you've built around these important questions that we have. I'm so glad that we could catch up on a conversation today.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we talk about scans, screenings, I actually want to start with something completely different. Because when I was reading about your journey, one thing caught my attention. You made a song for cervical cancer awareness. Usually when we think doctor, we think consultation room, reports, medical terms, not music, definitely. So I have to ask, what made you think do that?
So cervical cancer is the second largest by volumes that women face after breast cancer. It kills the most number of women when it comes to cancer after breast cancer. Unlike breast cancer, cervical cancer is something that is completely preventable. And if we were to just take the vaccine, nobody would even get cervical cancer. So a large number of preventable deaths in women was because of cervical cancer, which is caused by a virus called HPV virus. The problem was that most of the developed nations have the HPV vaccine in their immunization schedule, which means every single child, once a girl child hits puberty, she gets the injection. But unfortunately, in India, Nirmala Sitharaman is only talking about it over the past 6 months or so. And Tamil Nadu is also mulling, including it in the immunization schedule of children. But so far, it is a very voluntary thing. It is also an out-of-pocket spend, which means women are reluctant to get it, A, because they don't know why they need the vaccine, and B, because it is also expensive, and C, because it is not accessible. So I thought, or a group of us thought, that a lot of dialogue had to be had around this. And we also wanted to get it in the most entertaining, exciting manner out there to the women, so that, very different sections of the society, could be the mid or the higher economics, whoever is listening to the song. A song is something that can carry a message so beautifully, like a film, for example, right? Anything that makes you think, that makes you dance, that makes you hum to it, it always sticks in your mind. So, which is why we thought we should do the song. And we did the song with Saindavi and Dr. Matt, who is another radiologist friend of mine from Australia. He'd composed the music. And we mixed the beats of the Kutuparai and a lot of rap. And then we got out a very beautiful song that talks about women empowerment. It goes like, Ni Suryanadi, which means you are the sun. The Suryan doesn't, the sun doesn't want light from anyone else because it is the light. Yes. So we are trying to tell women that you are the source of light. Right? You don't need to look anywhere else for the light.
Yes, I did listen to the song, yes, and it was inspiring and empowering too. And I did like the tone and the tune. So thank you so much for the initiative. Okay, now coming back to the show. Dr. Navin, I want to start with something I think almost everyone listening will relate to. We all know we should take care of our health. Nobody wakes up and says, I don't really care about my health, but somehow the appointment gets moved, the test gets delayed, the symptom gets explained away in the group discussion. It's like, it's just stress. I'll go next month. Let me finish this busy period. From your side of the table, after seeing thousands of patients and scans, what is the moment where you think, I really wish this person had come earlier?
So this happens with every single patient who presents with a crisis and who is reactive rather than proactive, which includes 99% of all of us. The human beings are wired to seek a fix only when we are broken beyond a certain point. It extends to our vehicles, it extends to everything else, like health insurance even, or a preventative health check becomes a chore, something that people mull about, people take a really long time deciding. The person would go for a vacation, person would go for a career jump, person would do everything but take their health seriously or come for a preventative health check. Because A, they are afraid of what they are going to find if they undertake a preventative health check. And B, they don't think that something is wrong with them. We always feel we are invincible until the very moment we drop down with a major issue. With my discussions with most people, if I find someone who is metabolically unhealthy, who I think should have a preventative health check, the first conversation is I ask them, why don't you go get one? It's like, particular doctor, or we'll see, is what they say. But if I dig deeper, what I find is they are afraid of what they're going to find. So until the point, it's like an ostrich, head underneath the ground so that they don't, it's a way of blinding ourselves to the reality. That's what I feel is the problem. So we have to understand that we are not machines, and we have to understand that everything and anything that has to go wrong can and will go wrong. And the only way that we can stop that is by prevention and be proactive rather than reactive, which means there has to be an annual health checkup, there has to be a follow-up with your physician, there has to be the mandatory vaccination that you have to take prior to travel or after 50, there has to be the regular exercise or sleep or everything else that you need to the foundational blocks of health. You need to follow that. Otherwise, it's going to be really difficult. That is what I feel. People put off a test because they feel they're invincible or because they're afraid of what they're going to find at the end of it.
And when it comes to women, because this part actually interests me, especially we are trained to keep going. We normalize everything. Like tired, yes, everyone is tired. Pain, yeah, let's manage it. We almost need permission to say something doesn't feel right. From what you have seen, do women wait longer before seeking help?
So women, from what I have found is the concept of womanhood is mired with a lot of care and attention that they give to everyone around them but to themselves. So they care for the child, they care for the husband, they care for the in-laws, they care for their own parents, they care for their boss, they care for their career, and eventually womanhood is so beautiful because they are such givers, right? This works against them because they are the last people that they think about. And when they think about the health and the wellness of everyone around them in the family, and they relegate the thoughts of their own wellness to the very end, or they're the bottom of the list even in their mind. So it's always about everyone else. It's never about them. So this particular fundamental, I wouldn't call it a flaw. I would call it a personality. Women are always such givers, right? So I think this is working against them when it comes to taking care of the health, because for them, everything else is a priority. They are the least or the bottom line of the priority. This has to change in their mind. They have to understand that if they are not in top shape, health-wise, and everything, everything else is only dependent on that. Be it their career or be it even their role as a caregiver is only as good as how their health is.
So, are there any symptoms you wish women would stop dismissing as normal? Because we talk about preventing healthcare and it still feels like a luxury for many people. But what symptoms can we let women know so that they're a little more cautious about it?
So in my book, we have multiple sections, and there is one section about what tests that women have to undergo at various age groups. So in pregnancy and in women in reproductive age group, say between the ages of 25 and 35, the most commonest problems that women have are anemia, either due to iron deficiency or B12 deficiency. So they may have issues where they can get breathless on doing small activities, or they can get generally tired, which is something that they ignore at this point of time. As they grow a little older, beyond 35, they would have to start regular screenings for cervical cancer and breast cancer, which means breast self-examination, the annual mammogram after 40, and then doing your pap smears, getting your HPV vaccinations. All of this are really, really important, right? So with women, the symptoms that I feel that they shouldn't ignore is lassitude and tiredness, which they dismiss to, always being tired, fatigue. And if they are finding anything abnormal about their menstruation, particularly intermenstrual bleeds, getting bleeding between your cycles, that is abnormal. Or if you find some sort of a lump in your breast when you do a breast self-examination, these things are abnormal. Once a woman hits menopause, then something that they should not ignore is their bone health and heart health. Because after menopause, a woman's risk of having a heart attack skyrockets and catches up with men. So because the estrogen protection is completely gone. And because the estrogen is gone again, bones weaken quite a bit, which means they have to start resistance training as soon as they hit 35. But it so happens that women are so busy with a lot of things like career or child rearing or taking care of other vulnerable people at home, they do not have time.
Okay. So now I want to talk about something happening today. Earlier, maybe people didn't have enough health information. Today, we almost have too much, I would say. One reel says, eat this, another says, never eat that. Supplements, biohacking, detox, miracle transformation. Honestly, sometimes trying to be healthy feels exhausting in today's world. I have come up, this has become everyday story. As a doctor, when you look at today's wellness world, what do you think is actually happening? And what is just noise?
So I think there is a lot of health fluencing going on in India, and most of it is wrong. We have on one end doctors promoting products that they shouldn't be doing. On the other hand, we have non-doctors promoting really things that can even damage a person's health really bad, like herbal teas or detox or any of those things. So I would, if I were to give one caveat to the population, it is to go with evidence and not to believe any fad that there is out there. The herbal tea does not magically cleanse your liver, and a detox supplement does not, clean your kidneys. And a miracle weight loss drug is not going to just make you lose weight. It's also probably make you lose your life as well. So these are things that can happen, and these are quite common. Because I just know that, one advantage of AI that I see is that it is accessible to everyone. So I want every person out there who is planning on following a fad, just to type in what the fad is and ask whichever AI model you have, is there level 1 evidence to show that this particular product will cause a good outcome and will not cause a bad outcome. If every single person out there would just check their favorite AI model and then ask for, is it evidence backed? Is it backed by quality level 1 evidence? Then they will really know what the problems are with the fad diets that we are following. But for people who are not very tech savvy, I would say stick with your family doctor and not to believe every hype that you see on Instagram, because some health fads can actually kill.
Thank you for that honest classification, like which one to consider. And the final part, please consult your family doctor. Added a lot of value to it. So this is something I really wanted to discuss, because wellness has become a huge industry today. And where do you see people getting misled the most? The fertility promises, weight loss shortcuts, or this miracle cures. Like, where do you see what is misleading people too much these days?
I would go with weight loss as number 1, and I would go with miracle cures as number 2, and I would go with detox or herbal cleansing as number 3. Weight loss drugs are the number 1 fad. Most of the fat burners that you find unregulated, or they have toxic compounds that can cause renal failure, or they have a very high amount of caffeine that can cause rhythm abnormalities in the heart. If at all someone wants to do weight loss using drugs, I think they should go to their endocrinologist and try one of the Wegovy or Ozempic or one of those GLP drugs, which are considered pretty safe as compared to your weight loss powders that you can find off the shelf or some health influencer is promoting to you. The second is herbal teas. During COVID time, we saw a lot of herbal teas.
Okay.
We saw during COVID a lot of people having a number of concoctions which were promoted to be a miracle cure for COVID. And they ended up with what we call as DILI, D-I-L-I, which is drug-induced liver injury. So the herbs that were supposed to be protecting them from COVID virus actually knocked out their livers, and they had to end up with sometimes even liver transplants. So that's a sad story. We always think, nature is a panacea, or nature can only be loving and benevolent. So everything natural has to be good, right? We always have this misconception. But snake venom is nature, right? So not everything that is natural has to be perfect. Nature can be harmful as well as can be beneficial. Which is why I always tell to my patients, if you really want to choose nature, you should choose nature without its fangs, which is nature 2.0, which is allopathy, because at least 50% of the drugs in allopathy are derived from nature without the side effects. So I think we should, again, when it comes to any of these things, any fad diets or any miracle cures or weight loss drugs or herbal detoxes or cleansers, we should look at the evidence out there. Is there level 1 evidence to actually prove that this has more benefits than harm? If every person were to ask this question, do a little bit of deep digging rather than just follow whatever the person on Instagram or social media is saying, then we'll be a lot better because of that.
Okay, so thank you for bringing that to the notice. Like, there is no 30 days, 7 days or 14 days reset that can happen to the body, possibly for the transformation that we are expecting. So apart from this, what's the biggest misconception people have about lifestyle change?
The misconception that people have is that they will approach a point where the lifestyle change in itself can be a cure. So again, I'm re-emphasizing that if it is a mild form of disease that you have, be it sugar, cholesterol, or an early block that you may have in the arteries, which is not too much, visceral fat that has accumulated to a certain degree, a milder form of disease can be reversed. But if you have had insulin resistance and metabolic dysfunction for a long time, or if your blood sugar levels are way too high, if your BP is very, very high, or if your heart disease is of such an extent that it requires an active intervention, you can't say that I'm going to work my heart block away. Or you can't say that I am going to, gym my weight and reduce my 300 blood sugar to 80 or 90. That's not happening. So there will come a time when lifestyle changes will have to be supplemented with medication. The biggest misconception that people have is lifestyle will fix everything. Lifestyle will prevent things from coming if you were to adopt it at a very early age. But were you to start lifestyle changes at 50, it may help you reduce the dose of your diabetes tablet. It may help reduce the dose of your cholesterol tablet, but still you will have to take the tablet. You can't just say one fine day, okay, I'm throwing all my pills into the dustbin. I'm going to just walk and sleep well and I'm going to be fine. That doesn't happen.
Okay. So we are almost towards the end of the segment. We are switching gears now. So no radiology, no research papers, just rapid fire. First thing that comes to your mind, let's go. Quick questions, quick answers. No overthinking.
Okay.
Is there any trend right now where you think, I really wish people would stop believing this?
Sleep. People think they can do it 2 hours of sleep or 3 hours of sleep. That's crazy.
Lovely. Okay, so radiologist or founder, which one feels more you?
Founder.
Okay, that's interesting.
Founder.
Okay, the one meal you can't say no to?
Dessert.
Okay, you can't say that.
Dessert.
Sure, you got the sweet tooth then, right?
Yeah, I have a very bad sweet tooth, which I have my desserts, but I have it early in the morning. That way, or in the, I try to finish off my desserts by the first half of the day, so that they don't spike my sugars that much.
That's the hack.
If you have to have the ice cream, have it in the mornings.
Okay, taken. Okay, are you a early bird or night owl?
Early.
Okay, so first thing you do when you get home after a long day?
Coffee. I have a dog, so it's dog time. Every time I come back, it's dog time.
Okay.
I think people should have pets. Along with babies, pets are also very nice stress buster. They release oxytocin, make you calmer,
Absolutely.
less anxious.
Okay, so one thing every woman should ask her doctor but doesn't.
Not is my husband well, but am I well? Question.
Perfect. And here is the last one. A song that instantly puts you in a good mood.
Ilayaraja songs. I love Ilayaraja songs. All
This
of them.
is so generic. Okay, still good. Okay. Okay, Dr. Navin, after putting you through that rapid fire round, I have one final question, and I promise this one is not rapid fire, okay? What is that one small shift apart from gym and the muscle building, a lifestyle change that every woman would listening can start this week, which can help her not immediately but on a long-term health? What would that be, and why that one?
I would say pay attention to your food. What happens is that we have our South Indian as well as North Indian food complements. We have myriad varieties of food, but what we lack is the proportionality of it. So every time before you eat, look at the plate and try to visualize the food. It has to be a quarter, half rule, which means quarter is protein, quarter is carbohydrates, and half of it has to be vegetable. We don't even have to work too hard to it for that, because every meal of us has all these components. All I want you to do is get the proportionality right. For example, if you're going to have a morning meal, right, of idli and sambar, you're not getting enough protein. So add a couple of eggs and add a cup of salad. That's all. So I'm just saying, visualize your every meal and plan it with the quarter, half rule, which is quarter of protein, quarter of carbohydrate, and half of grains or vegetable. If you can do that, nothing like it. We don't have to go exotic. We don't have to order this super salad made with Greek yogurt or feta cheese. Not required. Whatever you have at home, right? If you're a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, doesn't matter. With whatever is available at home, you can beautifully structure your meals in a super way. All I wanted is visualize that plate before you start eating. Does this have the quarter, half?
I love that. And I think that is such an important reminder. Just you can start fixing things from the basic stuff. Because so many times with health, we wait for a big wake-up call, especially women. But maybe
Exactly.
with this small everyday choices. Dr. Navin, thank you so much for joining me on the Empower Journal today, because I loved how this conversation was not about fear or complicated medical terms. It was really about understanding our bodies better and making informed choices. Before I let you go, where can people find you and LIVF.women if they want to learn more or connect with you?
So I'm available on LinkedIn. So whoever would like to, have a chat, I'm open to chat on LinkedIn. So that's a that's a platform that I'm quite commonly available and easily accessible.
Okay.
I would love to help anyone who's got any queries, either formally or informally. But yes, one parting message to all the women out there is please take care of yourselves, because you are the sun. You are the light, and you don't need any extra light in your lives. Just take care of yourselves so that you can be better versions of yourself, and you can also take care of the people around you.
Amazing. So thank you once again for joining us on the Empower Journal, a space to create the life we are trying to create. If there is one woman in your life who always puts herself last, your friend, sister, mother or colleague, share this episode with her. maybe this is a little reminder she needs to pause and prioritize herself too. So you can listen to the Empower Journal on Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, and Apple Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and keep this conversation going. Until next time, this is Dave signing off. Create the life you want to live. Nandri.
வணக்கம்.